get your motor running. Head out on the highway, looking for adventure, and whatever comes our way. Hey, yeah, driving gonna make it happen. Take the world in a lemon grace. Fire all of your guns at once and explode into space. Like a true nature's child, we were born to be wild. We can climb so high, never wanna die. Born to be wild. Born to be wild. One, two, three, four.
All right, welcome back to Full Throttle TV in the Blackwater Products USA Truck Series. Tonight we take on Darlington and the Wall, of course. We're here for 200 miles of action, 146 laps. In the booth with me, Dean Doucette, is Brad Patterson. Brad, we got the Truck Series one more time here.
Oh yeah, these guys are ripper and ready to go. The old lady in black, Darlington. Who's going to walk away with the clean truck and who's going to earn that stripe tonight?
Yes, indeed. It's going to be a battle here. I mean, everybody's going to earn that stripe, as you say, Brad. I mean, it's unavoidable here for the most part, and so many good drivers out here pushing so hard tonight. Man, as we look in on the race info here tonight, the weather 82 degrees right now, track temp at 86. It should be, really racy conditions out here, Brad. I don't see anything here, a little partly cloudy even, heading into the night. These guys should have the best conditions that they could have.
Yeah, they really should. I would expect, honestly, as well, as this race goes on, that track temp's only going to cool, so they're just going to gain a little bit more grip. It could throw these guys for a little bit of a loop here. We did have a little update today on the server, so there is a little bit of uncertainty. These guys are kind of getting the feel of the truck and everything to see if anything's really changed. But this is one of those tracks that you definitely don't want to go in blind.
That's true, and that brings us right into our keys to the race. We already talked about the Darlington stripe. Of course, almost everybody's going to earn it. Now, I said everybody would earn on, but, there might be that guy, and that guy who can keep that truck clean. I mean, it's highly important. Super sensitive these trucks are. You get a couple of bangs on that wall, who knows, it turns a little different, lose a little bit of speed, so that's going to be big. Track position, always big here. Very difficult to pass. Trying to get down to that low line, make that pass. Very, very difficult indeed. And pit stops, one of the hardest pit roads to get on under green flag conditions, Brad. That could be a race decider here tonight.
Yeah, it really could. I mean, we've seen several races here. Ultimately, they lose it in the pits. I mean, a silly penalty, a drive-through, pass-through penalty, speeding on pits, taking many drivers, dominating trucks out of contention. And, here as well, this is a smaller track, 1.36 miles. You get a penalty like that, you're going multiple laps down.
Yeah, that's you're gonna lose one or two laps here for sure, maybe multiple, like you say, and you just don't want that to happen. I mean, I've seen guys hit the barrels here. I've seen guys miss pit road completely. I've seen guys be overcautious, lose 5-6 seconds on pit road. So there's a lot in play here as this practice session now winding down here has come to an end. Actually, Wayne Grassy right now fastest on the track, so that's really something. That's good for Wayne as we head into qualifying here. Wayne Grassy on that 5 has entered pit road here. We'll try and get a look in on him, and here he comes out for his qualifying lap right now. So Wayne, the 5 was a rookie last year, Brad. Here he's been showing, strength this season, doing really well. Actually, why don't we look in at our championship points right now?
Well, it looks like Wayne's actually going to have himself a little bit of a problem there on qualifying. I think he's going to go ahead and try to redo that lap.
Yeah, you're going to shut down and start that one over. But right now, the points leader, Brian Helm, with 148 points. Ronnie Royal with 141, only 7 back. You got TJ Bartel, been having a strong year, both the trucks and Xfinity. Of course, he's in the booth for the Cup car. Who knows what he'd be doing there? So TJ having a great season so far. Bernard Person, always strong, right there, about 25 points back. Casey McMullen, a former champion, 26 back. Cooper Jr. in the battle as well. You got Wayne Grassy, Kirby, Williford, Carr in your top 10. Then it's Flanagan, Bratton, Benedict, Griffith, Terrell, Marsh, Hensley, and Loomis in your top 18. As we look through some of the others in the field here, or in the championship standings, I should say. Right now, the 25, Terry Cooper Jr. taken to the track.
Yeah, Terry's been very fast all season long as well. He's got generally a very good race car underneath him, and he's been really consistent this entire time. So it's going to be interesting to see what type of a time Terry Cooper is going to be able to put down.
Yeah, it really is. Terry's been, really consistently, like you just said, in the top 5, top 10 in qualifying, having himself good runs throughout the year. The thing is, can he manage his tires? Can he manage the, aggression around him and with himself, and save that tire, save that car until the end of this race? Time will tell here.
Yeah, I mean, that's been kind of the tale of two tales, if you will, for a lot of this field. I mean, we look right there currently up towards the front. You're going to have Jared Carr. Of course, Jared Carr was our winner last week in the road course, the Canadian Tire Motorsport Tire. He's one of those guys that, he can show up and he can dominate a race and run really fast right at the gun. But sometimes he just doesn't get to manage those tires quite as well, and he ends up falling off towards the end. So it's going to be very interesting to see if this season's going to be a different tail of the season for Jared Carr, and he's able to really maintain it for the entire race.
Yeah, I mean, and we've seen this with several drivers in the past, virtually the same. I mean, Jared's got a talent level that's right up there with the best of them. But, this experience, the green flag racing and all that, something that's kind of been ebbing and flowing a little bit this season. But in general, full throttle sim racing, a green flag racing league, it takes some adapting. And we've seen other drivers take some time to make that adjustment. Guy like, I don't know, Ronnie Royal or Russ Chernowski or whatever. These guys battle near for championships and stuff in certain series. They've learned, but it took time, Brad. It took them a season, basically, or 2 before they got that whole thing under them.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, this, when you get used to running green flag, you almost have to, it's a cliche, but you start from the back and you run the race backwards because you're expecting the race to go green the entire time. So the strategy can really come into play, and you really have to just look at the races completely different. The aggression level, you can't come in like this is a sprint race or anything like that and be aggressive. You got to time yourself. You got to take care of your equipment. You got to really think these races through, and that's the difference between everybody here at Full Throttle Sim Race and the kind of racing that we promote and that we all enjoy, and versus a lot of other leagues where you can go out and you can just really flat foot it, burn the tires off and run short stints.
Yeah, it's a completely different animal, and it's something that needs to be learned. These pits tonight with the pit road, Brad, could play big, and that's something. Once you get into multiple green flag races, you start to really plan it out. Should I come in early? Should I stay out late? All kinds of strategies lay work. Maybe an extra stop, maybe one less stop. Right now, these guys are starting to grit up here. See Casey McMullen up there with a great time for Casey. Be on the outside of the roll. Familiar name of Tim Bill's on the pole tonight.
Absolutely. There's a lot of great drivers up front. Obviously Tim Bill's one of the front contenders we would think coming into this season, trying to really cap it all off. Casey McMullen, Jared Carr is having a good night. Looks like we're going to have Brody Hanna first race back in a while, so it's good to see Brody Hanna out there.
Yeah, really good to see Brody. Let's get into our starting grid here right now. As we show Tim Bills on the pole in the 77, time of 27.831. Casey McMullen Sr. in the 71 will be starting on the outside of row number 1. Bobby Terrell in their familiar number 4 truck will be starting in third tonight. Jared Carr on the outside of row number 2. Tyler Marble starts in the 5th spot tonight in that 48. Brian Helm is going to get his shot starting from 6th spot. The aforementioned Brody Hanna going to be starting in the 7th spot. If we get him to grid, there he is, the 23, looking sharp out there. On the outside of row number 4 is going to be Terry Cooper Jr. Bernard Person will start in the 9th spot, along with Lane Allen on the outside of row number 5.
In row 6, we're going to have the 5 of Wayne Grassi running off in that 11th position, followed by the 21 of Gary Griffiths, a new scheme that Gary's going to be rocking tonight. Right behind them, we're going to have Sherwood Williford with Jason Martin in tow. 15th, we're going to have Ronnie Royal rolling off. 16th is going to be Jason Spear. 17th is going to be TJ Bartel. 18th, Michael Blackner. Justin Kirby's going to roll off 19th in that 58. And 20th position is going to be Jacob Reeves in the 57.
Yeah, rounding out your field there, you see the rest of the field down to Bratton and Spear as we're about ready to go racing here. I'm not sure what happened on that right there, but I'm showing something might have happened to the 23 there. I don't know if you can get a look at that, Brad, but somewhere right after lining up, something occurred with the 23. I don't know if he just perhaps spun his tires, or I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to see here.
Might have been just a glitch on my scoring. I was showing him as crashed, but it looks to be fine out there. So here we go, folks. Green flag racing at Darlington for 200 miles of action in the Blackwater Products USA Truck Series. Tim Bills down into corner number 1 on the low side. Here comes Bobby Terrell trying to get underneath that 71. He's going to file in there and give that spot up.
Yeah, it's very important for Tim Bills to be able to get out to a lead. Right here, track position is really king. You do not want to be side by side going into these corners. The 71 in case McMullen's going to be right on his back bumper.
Yeah, track position good. Everybody kind of status quo. You see the 2 green cars here, Jared Carr and Brody Hanna, a couple of former broadcasters as well. So nice to see them, and they're looking green. We'll be able to spot them all night long. Bernard Person back here, Grassi, everybody kind of single file right now, and this is what you expect here a little bit at Darlington. Really difficult, especially heading into corner number 1, Brad, to get too wide.
Yeah, absolutely. I expect these guys to kind of just wait it out a little bit, kind of see what they got under it, as everybody's really going to be single file going into the corners. They're just going to take their time and wait on it, I think.
Like everybody kind of just saving that stuff here. No real movers. I mean, we can look back at a guy like TJ Bartel in the 47, already up 3 spots, along with Justin Kirby, who's up 4 spots. These guys, and well, TJ in particular, has been a threat. We watched him at Darlington in the Cup car get a win. Not just a win, Brad. He walked away with it.
Yeah, he really did. And
that might have been Xfinity. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, some of the guys in the back of the field, they're not necessarily liking this. You got the 51 of Brandon Elder. He's going to be our first victim as far as that Darlington stripe. He put it up in the outside wall, got himself a little bit of a stripe. You got the 55 of Jet Bratton back there, 28 of James Torrey. They're making their way around the 34 of Ian Spear currently.
Yeah, these guys well off the pace here. quite a bit back when you get up to, then there's Paul Sargent up ahead and Loomis. Then you get Gerringer, Canny, and Sargent in front of them. And then you got Flanagan along with Jacob Reeves here, the old school bandit.
Yeah, it's interesting to note that you're seeing these guys, they're not really running that super high line quite yet. They're kind of staying about a lane and a half down, at least our leader is. You know, Casey McMullen, he seems like he's running a little bit higher line in 1 and 2, but there's a lot of guys that they're just not quite ready to go to that super high line yet. They're not really ready to risk their truck, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think they are. As we watch a 9 of Jason Martin coming underneath the 58 of Kirby, Justin Kirby there. But he thinks it over for a minute. And we got Spear being labeled as a possible something's happened there with the Spear machine. Not sure what that was. Let's be looking at Sherwood Williford here doing battle with the 5 and the 14's behind him. He's got a bunch of cars here lined up behind there. So I don't know if, oh, and here's a move by the 33. He's going to come down low, the inside of Wayne Grassy, heading down into corner number 1. He's going to make that pass. 14's going to follow right on through there and capitalize on that opportunity.
Yeah, I think we're just starting to get to that spot where these guys are starting to lose a little bit of grip in those machines. You got the 14 to Lane Allen now. He's on the back of the 5. He's looking a little bit racy as well. The 24. The 24 Ronnie Royal, he's right behind the 5. He's getting a little bit loose, but it's starting to see where these trucks are starting to get a little bit loose on exit. Is Lane Allen going to dive to the inside of the 33 and make that stick pass?
Yeah, Lane Allen really on the move here. He's looking like he's pretty hooked up right now. And we've seen one of his teammates there, or co-teammates, you'd say, one with Blackwater, and one with Steve Berry Racing. But you know, they're going to be sharing setups and working on things together. Up front right now is the aforementioned Casey McMullen Sr. in that 71, sitting there hanging in with Tim Bills here.
Actually, it seems like Casey's actually been able to pull back a little bit. He's really starting to close in on the back of Tim Bills, which doesn't really surprise me. You know, Casey is very well known for saving his equipment, making sure he's got a truck underneath him, and playing a little bit of strategy. But strategy is definitely out the window. The best strategy he has right now is go on, get up there, and get around that leader, and just try to get away from this, everybody.
Yeah, you can see there when we look in on the lap history there, he's you know, a little bit faster here is the 71, and this is going to be shaking the 77. Tim Bills used to, you know, getting out there and getting himself some comfort. It's usually his teammate, Russell Charnowski, is chasing him.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like is you watch that 71 on the exit of 4, that truck has a tendency to want to dart towards the inside, and I think that's something that's only going to get worse as this run goes.
Yeah, you might be right about that. I know for myself, driving at Darlington, had a strong car early and it faded late. Just got too loose. So these guys got to be aware. You know, they might want to tighten that truck up as we go along.
As you see, McMullen kind of put a little bit more to the inside. He's starting to try a little bit of different line, trying to see where the grip is. That time in 3 and 4, he went down about a half lane lower. Unfortunately, the truck wasn't able to stick, and it gave Tim Bills a little bit of an advantage. He was able to pull away. He goes right back to that top side there, and you see him, he goes right back on the back of the bumper.
We got Brody Hanna down low on the track there. I'm not sure what happened there. I don't know if he was trying to make a move or just gathering it up out of the corner. But Brody looking pretty good here, hanging in there at about the 6th spot, 7th spot, I guess it is.
Now, a little further back, we got the 33 of Sherwood Williford going to give up a spot to the 47 of TJ Bartel, as TJ is going to make his way through there. Right behind him, we're going to have the 58 of Justin Kirby all over the back of the 33. So some of these cars are, you know, going the wrong direction.
Yeah, some go in the wrong direction, some go in the right direction. Kirby and Bartel are on the move. I mean, Bartel's up 5, Kirby's up 6 spots. So watch out for these two trucks.
Yeah, and if you actually look at that 33 machine, it looks like he's gotten into the wall. He's got some right side damage, especially when it comes to the back half of that right side corner.
Yeah, he might have a little ding there. and that's usually a truck getting into you. I'm not sure who would have got into him. Oh, and we've got a caution on the truck.
Yeah, it sounds like turn 2.
Looks like it's going to involve Michael Blackner here. So we try and get a look in on this. So we'll just play it from here. Looks like the 83 and 24, a couple of teammates there. One in the wall, one back down. The 90, 53, the 22, the 57. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it almost looks like if you go up just a little bit, it almost seems that they were kind of reacting as you got the 21 and 24 kind of really battling going in that corner. 24 puts it up into the wall, and everybody kind of checks up behind them.
Yeah, he threw it in the wall really hard there, side by side with his teammate, and just not good there.
Yeah, that's one of those deals with this track. You know, it's a very narrow track, one groove racetrack. Everybody's going to be really going through that same groove, going through the corner. And if you get a situation that happens in front of you, much like we just saw, sometimes there's just no way to go because you're committed into that corner.
So we go back to the pitters here. Person is the first one out of pit road, I think. And you're going to have Kirby, Royal, Gerringer all in the pits. Now, we do have a tire rule here, of course. Only 3 sets of tires in the garage. We're only on lap 17 of 146. If we look at the pit times, perhaps we can gauge whether people have taken any tires or not. It looks like Person did not take tires, as Hensley didn't either, but perhaps the others did. I would say Kirby, Gerringer, Loomis, and Torrey took tires. The rest, hard to tell. They're fixing some damage. I don't know if they took tires or not. We see Ronnie Royal still on pit road, is coming off now. Him, and that's going to be Jacob Reeves and the Skull Bandit. He's just coming out.
Yeah, it looks like 58 definitely took tires. Justin Kirby, he took tires. The 24, I didn't see him take any tires. The 8 did not take tires. The 57 took tires. The 90 took tires. The 53 took tires.
Well, it'll be interesting to break it up a bit here. Lap 17, you know, we get some guys on fresher tires. I'm sure they're going to want to come through here. What kind of mayhem will that bring? It's hard to say for sure. Right now, Tim Bills will be starting on the point here, followed by Casey McMullen. You got Bobby Terrell sitting in third. Tyler Marble still in fourth. Carr down 1 spot to 5th place right now. Brian Helm still in 6th. Brody Hanna 7th. Cooper Jr. 8th. Lane Allen is going to be in 9th. And Wayne Grassy rounds out your top 10. Right behind them is that 47 of TJ Bartel, and he's up 6 spots.
Yeah, TJ's really the first car that's really made a lot of progression, if you will. It seems like our top 10 really hasn't changed much since the start of the race. They've been content with just kind of riding, you know, one position changes here or there, but not a whole lot of movement. But we were just getting to that point, I think, when the tires were really starting to give way for some drivers. So it's going to be interesting to see, especially with fresher tires towards the back of this field and, you know, a little bit older tires up front, what exactly is going to happen.
Tell you, man, what a beautiful look it was there, shooting down the back straight, seeing the crowd, seeing all these cars lined up. Nice, you know, we got 30 plus cars or trucks out here tonight, and here we go. Pace car is off, 77, and leading them through 4, ready for this restart.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag dropped. 71, nice job on the high side, as did Tyler Marble in the 48. These guys going to make it tough down into one here. The 4, Bobby Terrell, comes in there. The 48 takes advantage. He's going to try and get underneath of Casey McMullen here, and he's going to make that happen. Here comes a 26 of Brian Helm. He's trying to get him some too.
Yeah, I think we saw the 71 really spin his tires. He was able to get an initial jump, but I think when he went to grab that gear, the back end of that truck did all types of squirrelies. And, you know, unfortunately, no traction means you're not going forward, and everybody else was able to freight train right by him.
They were. TJ Martell keeping an eye on him. He gained another spot there. Still on the move. He's got Lane Allen behind him. Brody Hanna holding on to his spot up there. Lots of good battles going on here as we get into that beginning stage where they're going to kind of get single file here for a few laps.
Yeah, currently our first car with fresh tires is going to be Justin Kirby in that 58. He's currently in the 15th position, working to the bottom of the 9 of Jason Martin, going to set his sights now on the 33 of Sherwood Williford. So that's plus probably 4 positions since we went back green. So he's definitely using those fresh tires to his advantage right now.
He is. Now, if this race was to go green from here on in, Kirby would be in great shape. I'm not sure what kind of shape he's in currently if more cautions come, but here he goes underneath the 33 of Sherwood Williford, looking for that spot.
As we go ahead. I was going to say, as we look back, as the 48 of Tyler Marble, he's got Casey McMullen. Casey McMullen's been able to gather it back up since that restart. He's going to be looking at the inside of the 48, try to sit there and try to get position. As he pushes a little high, he had to gather himself back up, you know, give the 48 plenty of room right there on the outside. I just don't think he's going to have the exit speed to be able to make this pass.
No, but he might have position here as they head down into the next corner. It's hard to say. Tyler Marble, very, very good driver, tough to pass, and 71 just can't get it done there. You don't want to burn up your stuff trying too hard either. And here comes the 26 of Brian Helm, our point leader. So Casey McMullen there doing a good job. His pass didn't work.
All right, man, caution is out.
And we got another caution on the track.
It's going to be the 5 of Wayne Grassy. Terry Cooper Jr.
Alright, we get a quick look in here at Wayne Grassy. I don't know why I didn't go to the correct one. Here we go. The 5, Wayne Grassy coming in. Oh, the 7 comes in, gets into Terry Cooper, checks up. The 5 has to check up. We're going to get another look at this. This is not good. Bear with me with these cameras here. We try and go to the chase cam here, and we look ahead, and we can see the 7 just gets into the 25. He checks up. The 5 checks up. The 47 gets into the 5. Sherwood, heavy damage into the 5. The 9 of Martin's involved in that. Ugh, ugly.
Yeah, just another one of those incidences that, you know, something happened in front of you, and, you know, single groove racetracks are, you know, very, not a whole lot of racing room going in there. You're going in there, you're committed, you're at speed. There's just nowhere to go for these guys.
Yeah, it's awful tough out there. Not a lot of room. So let's talk strategy here now, Brad. We got several guys in the pits now. And let's look in on their pit times once again and see who's grabbing tires and who isn't. Looks like Person is grabbing some tires this time, or getting some damage fixed. He's in there quite a while here. Sargent's going to be the first one off of pit road here. Paul Sargent. You got Flanagan. He's down on pit road.
I don't know exactly what happened there with Lane Allen. Lane Allen came down pit road. He got himself 4 fresh tires and went to go exit the pits, and he just stopped. Right, stopped it just past the last pit stall, and he waited a good 15, or I shouldn't say 15, probably a good 5-6 seconds before continuing on.
It's possible that pit road was closed for some reason. Is that what you think you were seeing, or?
Don't know. He was the first. He would have been the first truck off pit road, and there was no cars anywhere near him.
Very interesting. Right now, we look at the pit laps. So you got your top 7 cars have not pitted, including 9th and 10th as well. Kirby was pitted on 16, along with Geringer, Torrey, Bratton, Sargent, Reeves. And then you got the latest pitters, going to be Lane Allen, going to be your first one, followed by Paul Sargent and Joe Flanagan, Jason Spear, Blackner, McCanny, and others.
Yeah, so we had less than 10 laps. Justin Kirby's going to have less than 10 laps on his fresher tires. So he's sitting in a pretty good spot. We know that Jared Carr, he started to fade right there at the end. He was trying to let Cooper underneath him when that all transpired. So I got to think that he's starting to fade to the back. McMullen, he was doing very well. Obviously, he didn't have a great restart, but he was rebounding. So this is going to be very interesting. I think if you're in the top 4, I think you're going to get enough of a cushion. But I think if you're somebody like Cooper, Carr, I think Kirby's going to be there. If you're somebody, the 23 Brody Hanna, he hasn't fitted yet. I mean, it's just how much of a buffer you have between yourself and those 4 fresh tires, especially with a fast truck like Lane Allen's had all night.
Yeah, Lane Allen's had it. Kirby. You got the 47 of TJ Bartel. I'm not sure where he's sitting right now. I think he might have been involved in that wreck. I'm not sure on that, though.
Yeah, he was the first car to really get in a little harder. He's currently sitting back in the 24th position.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. So this is kind of a thing, though, with the give and take, you got to have both. And, anyway, we're going to go back green flag racing here with the 77 on the point one more time. I was going to get at the 71 of Casey McMullen, lost a few spots on the last restart. So is he going to be looking to take here, or is he going to have some give in him? You head down into 1, going to be clean up front there. Top 3 get it sorted out. McMullen down low, he's going to get it sorted out too. Looks like Carr, everybody doing a good job here. Kirby kind of holding his spot. Kirby up 11 spots so far. Back in the field, we have someone way off. Looks like whoever it was gathered that up. Right now, familiar faces up front. Bills, Terrell, and Marble battling it out with the points leader sitting in 4th. Former champion McMullen sitting in 5th. Here comes Cooper Jr. as well, right on his teammate's bumper here.
Yeah, he's really going to put a little bit of pressure on the 71 of Casey McMullen, and he kind of has to, because right behind him we're going to have Justin Kirby. We know Kirby's got the best tires out of this group right here, and he's really going to try to make the most of them, because he's really got to try to get through them before those tires really start to equalize. As Terry Cooper Jr. is going to go to the inside of his teammate.
Yeah, and that kind of spooked the 71 up into the wall there, I think. He saved it. Did a nice job there. He's going to lose 2 spots, though. So put Cooper into 5th, Kirby into 6th now, up 13 spots now, and he's looking to the inside of Terry Cooper Jr. And he's going to take that spot easily. So Justin Kirby is on the move. He's the man to watch here, as he has gapped the 25 already by a huge margin.
And if we look a little bit further back in the field, right there around that 23 of Brody Hanna, you got Lane Allen moving to the top side. You got James Torrey also going to fill that gap on the top side. Brody Hanna, unfortunately, on the wrong end of the tire game right now. He's currently losing positions, but he does have an extra set of tires in the stable, if you will, versus some of these other drivers.
Well, that's the tire game for you, isn't it? I mean, you lose for a while. As long as you don't go a lap down and cautions continue, all of a sudden what looked like a bad move becomes the great move. So we'll see how that plays out. Right in front of him right now, though, it looks like James Torrey taking the spot on Jeff Bratton.
And
And
he's
Bratton's
kind
going to
of,
fight back.
yeah, Torrey's been following Lane Allen through. I think Torrey was another one of those people that happened to get a little bit of tires right there as Lane Allen continues to just kind of make his way methodically through the field as he's going to come right up on the back of the 11 of Matthew Gehringer and the 21 of Gary Griffith. He's going to ultimately immediately go to the bottom. He's going to try to complete the pass on Matthew Gehringer and set his sights on the 21 now.
Yeah, Lane Allen looking really hooked up out here tonight. I know from past experience that he enjoys this track, and it looks like he's got a truck to match. So the 14 is on the move. Right now, my favorites out here, of course, your front runners with Bills and Terrell and Marble and Kirby. But, well, Kirby is the one I'm going to talk about. He's up 15 spots now, shown in fourth. And Lane Allen, I mean, we had T.J. Bartell on the radar, but he got in a little trouble. So Lane Allen and Justin Kirby, kind of my big movers and my big picks tonight so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Both of those gentlemen are doing great. But you know what? One thing both of those guys have done is both of them have pitted, both of them have taken tires. You know, our front runners right now still putting in some excellent lap times. You know, currently Tim Bills running a 29.50 to, let's see what the 58 Justin Kirby's running. He's running a 29.30. So, you know, Tim Bills about 0.2 of a second slower than the first guy on tires as Justin Kirby's able to get by the 4 Bobby Terrell. But at the end of this, it's going to be very interesting to see just what happens with these tire games.
Yeah, right now, I mean, you see Kirby just closing in already on the leader. He is just eating up time here. I mean, it's just a matter of, well, he's going to take the lead right now. So that's put the 58 of Justin Kirby on the point after starting a 19th spot. He's up 18 spots, shown in position number 1.
It looks like the battle for third is starting to heat up as we got Bobby Terrell in that 4, followed by the 48 of Tyler Marble. And then we have our points leader, 26 of Brian Helm. He's actually going to look to the inside of the 48 of Tyler Marble. He's going to try to be able to get position on him going into the corner here to try to make that pass stick.
The 26 here is going to make that pass, going to take that spot away, put him up to 4th spot. So Tyler right back where he started in 5th. Here comes Lane Allen as well. Some guys, you can just see the way they're getting through the corner. Just an amazing difference. We're going to take a look in on those last pit lap again and just see. I mean, Kirby on 16. You have Allen on 26. Gervinger and Bratton on 16. Torrey's on 16. Person on 26. He's on the move now. So these guys that have not pitted, I mean, amazingly, Tim Bell's still looking really good. He has not pitted in this race yet, nor has Bobby Terrell.
Yeah, and those guys have 42 lap old tires. So, you know, I think once we get to everybody on the same pit strategy, if you will, if we get to the same pit strategy, I think they're definitely going to have an advantage. But now we got to start thinking about something else. We got to start looking at fuel mileage. How long can these trucks go on 1 tank of gas?
Yeah, we really do got to look at that, and we're not really sure on the fuel mileage here tonight. I can tell you, I just seen Brody Hanna hit pit road. So that's interesting from Brody Hanna. I mean, I know he's coming off an injury. I'm not sure if he's there to retire. He could be a little sore, or he's just getting, you know, different strategy perhaps. Right now, Justin Kirby continues to lead, opening up his gap now. As we look in on that, about 2-second gap here to Tim Bills. Bobby Terrell in 3rd, currently being challenged by Lane Allen, about to take that 3rd spot away from Bobby Terrell.
Yeah, as the 23 of Brody Hanna, he's going to exit pit lane. It seems like we're having a couple of different drivers start making their way down pit road. So this, I got to think, is a strategy call. We might be nearing the end of one of those green flag, fuel runs.
Well, that's the thing. Have these guys outthought themselves with staying out on those older tires? Is it, going to be detrimental to their success? We're going to see here. So right now we watch Brian Helm and Bobby Terrell as Lane Allen is on the move, trying to hunt down Tim Bills and perhaps hunt down our leader. Tyler Marble kind of going the other way as Terry Cooper Jr. is now moving in on him. Guy we haven't mentioned too much, a couple of guys here in the 11 and the 55, Brad, up 17 and 21 spots respectively. Matthew Geringer and Jeff Bratton having good runs here.
Yeah, they really are. They've been kind of plugging away the entire night, making gains, staying out of trouble, keeping their cars nice and clean, playing a little bit of strategy when they needed to. Definitely having solid runs, and both of these gentlemen have been doing very well, not only in this series but all the other series. And they kind of found their groove, if you will, and they're really starting to make massive gains.
They are. I mean, Bratton's a long time veteran of the league, and he has been steadily improving this year, getting better setups and that. He's a heck of a driver. But Geringer, this is probably his best stretch here was the last month or two of iRacing, and he's just looking better and better. So the 11 having himself a night and really a season so far.
Yeah. So first driver there to pit was the 23 of Brody Hanna. He's currently one lap down. He did come out right in front of our leaders. So if we look at the 23 of Brody Hanna, he's running a 29.60 lap time. When we compare that to Justin Kirby at a 29.90, the net gain there currently is not going to work. So Brody Hanna, he's definitely going to need this to stay green, and everybody's going to have to really work their way through in order to really make this work for him.
Yeah, and I don't think he's expecting to make it work, just in fairness to Brody. I mean, he is just come back. I mean, he came on the track about a half hour before the race. No practice, really. Just felt like maybe his injury, he could get out here and do some racing tonight. Decided to hop on, so I don't think by any means he's thinking of a race win tonight, but he's showing pretty well here, right in the top 10 most till he pitted, so he looked good out there, and it's nice to have the 23 back on the track.
Yeah, it looks like the Sargents are going to be coming to pit road. They're in getting service this lap. Gary Griffith's coming in. He's going to get service this lap.
Interesting. We look on the lap history between Lane Allen, and we'll look ahead here to Kirby and see if we can get. So right now, Lane Allen faster than our leader 4 out of the 5 laps, and he's hunting them down slowly but surely here.
Yeah, this is where those guys are getting into that run right now where some of the other guys were going, where the tires are starting to go away. Remember, they came in, I believe, 18 to 20 laps later. They last pitted on lap 26, and let's see. Yeah, Lane pitted on lap 26 for Kirby, pitted on 16. So Lane Allen does have 10 lap fresher tires than Kirby. And, I think that's what we're starting to see on the track, is he's starting to really make big gains on Justin Kirby.
Yeah, he is 3/10 that last lap, 2 3/10 a lap basically. So very good looking here, and we'll see if that can continue as Lane Allen tries to hunt down our leader. We're starting to get lap traffic out here, fresh tires, old tires as well. We look back to Tim Bills getting loose off the corner there as Brian Helm closes in. He's gotten around Bobby Terrell now. Helm's in 4th, Terrell in 5th, and Bills up in 3rd.
Yeah, and Bills has some damage on the right side of that truck, so he's gotten his stripes so far tonight, and it makes you wonder just how much that might have hurt this truck.
You see Marble's in. Looks like McCanny coming off of pit road right now. As we see the 4 and the 26 battling side by side here. Oh, and the 26 with a hard move down to the inside. I don't know if I missed something there. What happened to the 4? Wow, that was some kind of pass there. I think we're going to get another look at that. So we see the 4 and 26 side by side here. 26 on the high side, 4 is down low. And the 26 just cuts down underneath the 77. Doesn't even notice the 4 is right there. Bobby Terrell, a great job avoiding that.
Yeah, and you know, while that was happening, Lane Allen, the 14 is able to get the 58. Justin Kirby put Lane Allen in that 14 to the front spot.
Wow, incredible. He ran him down fast, and he's got the lead. And you can just see on entry how he gaps at 58. When this all settles out here, from we're certain of it, we'll get a look at that pass. Just incredible action there. I mean, that pass from Helm, I'm not sure if spotter said clear. I mean, he was kind of clear. that was something.
Yeah, that had shades from the cup race the other night. You know, you just get that couple of inches and you think that, you know, even the spotter hasn't called you cleared quite yet, and you decide that you're going to go ahead and just clear yourself, and you know, it got real close to not working out.
Let's get a look in on that Lane Allen pass for the lead here as these two continue to battle on the track. Oh, the 58's up in the wall there. He's got his stripe for the night, and that's going to give Lane Allen a bigger lead. Now let's get a look at that pass. So here's Lane Allen. I don't even see the 50. Oh, the 58. Something happened. That's how it was done so fast. He got in the wall or with some lap traffic there. That allowed some big momentum from the 14 to come up and grab that spot.
I'll tell you what, there's a battle brewing right now with the 25 of Terry Cooper Jr. currently in that 5th position. He's got Tim Bills right behind him in the 6th. Looks like Tim Bills is actually going to come to pit road this time. But right behind him, you're going to have Jeff Bratton, as we discussed earlier, you know, up a massive amount of spots. He's slowly making his way to the back of the 25 of Terry Cooper Jr. to challenge for that 5th position.
Yeah, Bratton, 25 spots up. Geringer, 19 up. Kirby and Allen, lots of guys well up from their starting position. As we'll just put that on the board for everybody to see here. But yeah, Jeff Bratton having himself a night here as Terry Cooper Jr. peels off and heads to the pits.
As we're approaching lap 60 here, I think this is going to be in that wheelhouse where a lot of these guys, you know, our front runners are going to be at the point where they're going to have to start coming down pit road to make their stop.
Yeah, anybody waiting for a caution, the time may have passed. Now we're on lap 60. Now let's check in on our resident strategy player. That's Casey McMullen Sr. as he's between our two big movers here. He's got Geringer coming up on him right now.
And Casey has not pitted yet under this caution. I should say this caution under this run.
Yeah, we look in Helm and McMullen, Terrell on pit road right now. So it's really Helm and McMullen, the only guys who have not pitted yet, and they are not the leaders on the track, so it's a little bit rough condition for them right now.
Well, that 55 of Jeff Bratton, I don't show him as pitting yet either. So Helm, Bratton, and McMullen currently 3rd.
Bratton pitted on lap 16. I got Jeff Bratton on lap 16 in the pits.
Okay.
Like that. Okay. It's what the scoreboard's showing. That's all I can say. But right there we see Jared Carr go on by the 14 of Lane Allen, getting, I don't know if he's getting a lap back or his lap back. I'd say that's 1 lap back.
Oh, right in front of our leaders there. We had a big moment right with Jared Carr coming up on the back of the 57. The 57 was all out of shape in that corner.
Wow,
Oh,
and he's,
Jared Carr gets it.
the 57 really not handling it out here. That's going to be Jacob Reeves. He's struggling here. Looks like I thought he might be considering pit road here. I'm not sure. And if he was, he's missed it by a great deal.
And all of it's happening right in front of our leader, Lane Allen. You know, he probably had to catch his breath off that one, you know, seeing those two cars going in there and a little bit of contact. So he's thankful that right now it's kind of calmed down for him. He's able to sit there. He's just got to hit his marks and run his laps.
So looking at the 47 right now of TJ Bartel continuing to march back up after that little incident he had earlier in the race, now showing up 13 spots. He's moved his way up to 4th, getting around Matthew Geringer.
Justin Kirby is up into the wall again. He's really getting into the wall. His truck is really falling off. It seems like his truck just got to a certain spot with the tires where it just fell off, and now the truck's pushing. He's been in the wall several times over the last 3 laps and losing a whole bunch of time.
Yeah, that can happen here, and it's scary, and you don't know what to do, but I mean, maybe just get in the pits. He's trying to wait for this cycle to cycle on through and maybe catch some people a lap down or something, but it's hard out there, man. When your car handling goes away here at Darlington, you're running an inch off the wall. There's not much room for error.
No, there certainly isn't. And one car that just came out of pit road is that 71 of Casey McMullen. He's going to have fresh tires, so it's safe to say right now that all cars have pitted at least once this race. So mark it down as 65 to 67 laps is probably our pit window. Actually, probably a little less. We got a couple of cautions.
And we've only got 8 trucks on the lead lap currently. Now the pit strategy will change that somewhat. Right now, Lane Allen, let's give him his due, running up front here on the point. He's about to have the 71 of McMullen, his teammate there, come by him, get a lap back. But Lane Allen having himself a night. 2nd place, Justin Kirby fighting that truck for all it's worth, holding on. Jeff Bratton on the move big time as Brody Hanna goes around him, trying to get his lap back. TJ Bartel in 4th. You got Geringer in 5th. Here comes Bernard Person. He's on the move now after some pit strategy. The 8 truck moving up now to 6th spot. Ronnie Royal in 7th. Joe Flanagan showing in 8th place. Bill Benedict having himself a nice night as he dives down to pit road from 9th place. And then it's going to be Brody Hanna. Brody Hanna back up into the top 10. We'll move up into 9th with that pit from Benedict.
Yeah, behind him, we're going to have the 48 of Tyler Marble. Tim Bills, our early race leader, is going to follow. Truck starting to handle a little bit better as he's going to make his way around some of the slower cars that are on the lead lap, but he's still trying to make his way back to get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, such interesting strategy here as we approach the halfway mark here at Darlington. I mean, this is a long race. You guys really got to try and figure out the right strategy. A lot of guys on different calls with the pit times. It's going to be so interesting how this plays out. How many times have we seen it, Brad? Last lap passes with fresher tires, guys running out of fuel. You know, some guys are just making a call and winning it in a big fashion. So much happens in this series.
It really does, and you know, I'm sitting there just kind of doing a little bit of calculation here. So we know Lane Allen last came to pit road on lap 26. We're assuming these guys can go about 60 laps, so I'm expecting to see him in the next 12 to 15 laps to be able to get himself some fuel. The only problem with that is then if we do that math again, I'm not certain that he's going to have enough fuel to make it to the end if we do go green.
Well, that's the interesting part. We know track position is big here, so you know some of these guys have a different strategy. It's just so hard to tell at this point in the race how this is going to play out. But right now, the 14 couldn't be happier. It's been a long time since we've seen him up front leading a race like this and pulling. He's now up almost 2.5 seconds. Bartel and Geringer 15 seconds back.
Yeah, and let's give credit where credit's due. Is that 58 of Justin Kirby? He's hanging in there. You know, he had a little bit of stage there where the truck just really wasn't handling for him. He's had to kind of reassess the situation, kind of change his line. He's back there running some decent lap times. Lane Allen's been able to pull away, but he hasn't really ran away, considering that we saw Lane Allen really track him down from 4 to 5 seconds back. So he's been able to kind of manage and maintain that gap.
He absolutely has. He's doing a great job here. Really, let's look in at the lap history here between the two. We'll get Kirby and Allen there. So Lane Allen a little bit quicker through every lap, but not big chunks. I mean, he did have one that was probably lap traffic, but generally speaking, Lane Allen about a tenth faster, not too bad with an ill-handling truck for the 58. He's really hanging in there.
Well, the 55 of Jeff Bratton just got off of pit road, so one of our first front runners that pitted, I believe he pitted around lap 15, 16, had to come to pit road. So I would expect, like I said, Lane Allen in the next 5 to 10 laps to be on pit road. So the pit cycle is starting to really make its way through. So it's going to be interesting, as currently Jeff Bratton showed 2 laps down.
So Bratton has been in. Yeah, he is way back there. He's got work to do. He's coming up on Kirby now, so he's going to get one of those laps back here in about 5 or 6 more laps, but it's going to take some doing. I wonder where Bernard Person is looking again on the last pit lap. Bernard Person shown on lap 26, so him and Bartel in a little bit of a better position here in the 47. And, you know, Lane Allen also on 26. So, you know, Lane's got 15 seconds on these guys. So, I mean, right now it's Lane's race to lose.
Yeah, the question I'm going to have is the 48 of Tyler Marble and the 77 of Tim Bills. They're currently showed the first 2 trucks 1 lap done, and they are nose to tail in the racetrack right now. They are 1 lap down. Now, we've shown so far you go 2 laps down pitting under green. So the question is, how quickly is Lane Allen going to be able to get to pits, get out of pits, and make that time up?
Yeah, it's going to be big for him, and we'll try and catch him when he does head in and see how he gets through that pit stop. Right now, we're watching that battle with Bills and the 48 of Tyler Marble as they head down into corner 3 side by side.
Tim Bill's going to keep it on the inside. He's going to look to try to pull a little bit of a slide job on the 48 coming out. 48's going to try to get to the outside. Tim Bills thought about trying to shut that door, but didn't quite shut it all the way. As the 48's going to come back on the outside, and we're going to go right back into that corner again. Tim Bills is going to send it in and slide it out in front. The 48's going to have to regroup and try again.
Yeah, 48's a tough pass, man. Good job by Tim Bills. And he would have worked over the tires a little bit. Right now, though, Lane Allen's still opening up this gap here. Perhaps Bartel a touch quicker, hanging around that 20-second gap. My goodness, Lane Allen has lapped up to 5th place. What a performance from the 14 tonight. As we see Loomis down there on the low side, he's got some damage from earlier in the race. That was a long night trying to log some laps down there. Feel bad for the 17 of Stephen Loomis there.
Yeah, you look at the 24 Ronnie Roy, you know, he's been out there since lap 26 as well, so he's on the same strategy as Bartel. Unfortunately, he's going to go down a lap on the track to our leader, Lane Allen. That's not going to bode well for the 24. He's not going to be able to make it out. As you got the 43 right behind him getting into the wall as the 58 tries to make his way by.
Kind of missed that. 58, there he is now, going on by. And he looks like he's finally got that rubber. He's moving a little quicker now.
Yeah, Geringer in the 11, he's come to pit road, so I imagine that Lane Allen and the others are going to be right there behind him because he was on that same strategy. Sounds like I hear the 9 of Jason Martin's going to be coming to pit road this time.
Yeah, you know, you talked about the strategy, and you talked about doing a little math, and he couldn't make it. Could Lane Allen know that math and be trying to stretch this out a little bit longer?
Yeah, he's going to be. I mean, looking at it right now, we can only base it off of what we did on the first run, but we had a couple of cautions on that run. We had at least one caution, so I think it's going to be very close. He's not going to be able to run the type of lap times that he was running previous, and he's giving up a lot of time right now. So it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what Tim Bills is going to be able to have, because Tim Bills is slowly making his way to the back of our front three leaders.
He is, as we see Kirby get by our leader, and that's going to give him his lap back, or a lap back. We look in on Tim Bills. He's up to the 09 right now. That's going to be Kevin Sargent, I believe. And he's going to make a move down to the inside there, and the 09, a little bit of a wiggle. He's going to get freight train down the inside here.
Yeah, so Tim Bills right now, he's on the exit of 2 basically, and our leader, Lane Allen, he's going to be at the start-finish line. So he's still got quite a bit of a gap to Tim Bills, but it's only going to take a matter of seconds for him to be able to get by and to get his lap back to be on the same lap. I expect that our leader,
Here he
Lane
comes.
Allen,
Lane Allen down on pit road. Pretty solid entrance there. Pretty careful, as you expect with a nice big lead. He's going to get in there nice and clean. A good job from the 14 here. I would call that a very safe pit entrance here at Darlington.
Yep, and Tim Bills is already unlapped himself, so Tim Bills is currently on the lead lap. He's going to be our leader when everything cycles through with the rest of these trucks, I believe.
As we just watch Lane Allen make sure he gets down and safe. He looks safely in his stall, so that's good. Take a look at our new leader. That's going to be the 47 of TJ Bartel here. What an excellent job. Like we said, he's been having one heck of a year, and we haven't seen this in the past from him. And here he comes. He's headed down on pit road. A nice job by the 47 getting in there. That's going to hand it over to Bernard Person, who's going to take over the point here. The 8 on a little different strategy, and you know how dangerous he can be, so we'll see how that plays out for the 8. Yeah, I was going to remark on TJ Bartel, Brad, on what a season he is having. Like I said, he's only running 2 series this year, but he's winning races again, top 5s again. And here comes the 8 to pit road as well.
Yeah, that's going to hand our lead over to the early leader, the 77 of Tim Bills. We're waiting to see exactly where Lane Allen's going to cycle out. It looks like Lane Allen's going to cycle out on the lead lap, only 22 seconds back. So that is excellent for him. That's horrible for the rest of the guys on the track, knowing that they're going to have to at minimum make one more stop. Lane Allen might be able to just try to save a little bit of fuel. He knows he's got at least 1 lap to play with. He's only going to have a couple other guys on the same strategy.
Yeah, but Lane Allen pitting on lap 85 as compared to the leader who pitted on lap 58. Now there's a battle for the lead on the track right now as Bobby Terrell looking to the inside here while he's following the 77 of Tim Bills right now, looking for somewhere to make a move though. Down on the inside. They go side by side through 3 and 4 here.
Oh, and I have bad news to report. TJ Bartel having an excellent night with a incident coming. It looks like coming out of pits, got into the 17 of Stephen Loomis, and he has crashed his truck.
Oh no, the 47. We'll get a look at that. But right now, Bobby Terrell has taken the lead here with a great pass on the 77 of Tim Bills. So Bobby Terrell getting known for those adjustments, those mid-race adjustments, put him on the point. Now, we've had several different leaders here tonight. Let's get a look in on what happened to TJ Bartel. So TJ coming off of pit road. There's Loomis just doing his thing. They don't really see, he didn't see him at all. He just come up and got into him. unfortunate incident. Not Loomis's fault, not TJ's fault. Just super unfortunate. Ugh, painful to watch that one, Brad.
Yeah, it really is. He was having such a good night, and ultimately, just a little bit of situational awareness ended up catching him. I'm sure he wasn't expecting any car to be on the outside of him. He was still just coming up to speed, but unfortunately, they both met in the middle, if you will, and ultimately, the 47 not going to end up with the night he wanted.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough finish for him. But right now, a guy having a good night. Bobby Terrell in the 4, on the point right now, starting to walk away from Tim Bills a bit. So we've seen different guys leading. We've seen different guys seemingly start to open up big leads. Bobby Terrell, a tough competitor here. But if we look back to Lane Allen, he is currently only 7 seconds and closing rapidly.
Yeah, currently Lane Allen is a second faster per lap than our leader.
Just amazing job by the 14 so far tonight. I don't want to take away from Bobby Terrell or the 77 of Tim Bells. These guys having good runs themselves. But Lane Allen is the car to beat here tonight. Another guy having a decent run, Terry Cooper Jr., down to the inside of the 19 there. He's going to move up past that lap car. He's in 3rd place. He's up 5 spots from his starting position, also having himself a good run.
Yeah, right behind him, you're going to have that 48 of Tyler Marble, but he's been around the front the entire night. Got himself into a couple of little incidents where kind of hairy position. Right behind him, you're going to have Brian Helm, our points leader, doing exactly what he needs to do. He may not have the fastest truck tonight, but what he has to do is he's got to get the maximum amount of points to ensure that he can stay our points leader and really have a shot at this championship. And then right behind them, Lane Allen still coming. He's cut that lead down to 3.2 seconds from our leader.
Helm got into the side of the 48, right in front of our leader, or of Lane Allen, who a potential leader. Wow. That was one aggressive pass there, door to door, little door slamming, put the 48 up into the wall. Here comes Lane Allen down on the inside. He's going to quickly make work of the 48 there. That was something, I mean, that could have changed the whole direction of this race. And that's why it's a whole race. We're only on lap 97 at 146 here, watching Lane Allen getting ready to work on that 26 of Brian Helm.
Yeah, you can just see Lane Allen with those tires. He's able to get to the bottom and get that truck to rotate off the corner, where Helm, he just doesn't have the grip on the outside. Allen's going to be able to take that away and just kind of march away. You know, right in front of him, you're going to have Terry Cooper Jr. He's got clean racetrack. He's able to run some good, consistent lap times. And the lead between Bobby Terrell and Tim Bills is kind of stabilized. They're kind of staying right there, you know, kind of keeping each other honest. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if this was more Bobby up there in that Ford truck, just managing his tires, managing his truck.
It could be. I mean, that's what Bobby does. He's one of the smoothest drivers out here. He certainly takes care of his stuff and knows how to produce a long run. That's what he's set up for. But, I mean, there's going to be no stopping Lane Allen here as we watch him come up on his teammate, Terry Cooper Jr., down to the inside. Terry going to let him go there, I'd imagine. And there goes the 14, now up to 2nd place, and that's got to be or up to 3rd, excuse me. That's got to be scaring Tim Bills and Bobby Terrell.
Yeah, I mean, that's the worst thing you can do. You look in the mirror, you see a super fast truck really making a lot of distance on you. You know there's nothing you can do even when he gets there. There's no way that you can hold him up. He's just not going to, he's got more tire than you. He's got more truck than you do right now. What they got to hope is that he doesn't have enough fuel to make it to the end.
Yeah, that's exactly what they have to hope. And hope that he has to take a full pit stop as well, because he might open up a gap once he gets up to the lead that's insurmountable. So we see the 57 head down. Well, he's just giving some room there, I guess. I thought he was going to pit road.
Yeah, I think that's the key, because he's definitely going to get on the racetrack, he should, barring no caution, he's going to get the lead. He's probably going to march it out for a little bit. The question is how much of a lead can he get, and whether or not we do get a caution. Because I think with them going into pit, we're going to take four, and they're going to take a full fuel stop. They need to. So he could possibly get a 2-lap lead. With a 2-lap lead, he's going to be able to back it down, try to conserve as much fuel as he can. It's just whether or not it's going to be enough.
So we just watched Brian Helm get around the 25, Terry Cooper Jr. Here comes the 8 of Bernard Person as well.
And Bobby Terrell pits from the lead as the 14 of Lane Allen gets right to the back of the 77. That's smart. I like that out of Bobby Terrell. Don't let him get a gap on you. Come to pit road, get your service done as fast as possible, and try to limit the amount of loss.
Absolutely. I mean, this strategy you were talking about, these guys going to be good to go now. Bobby Terrell, Terry Cooper Jr., definitely good till the end of this race at this point. They're both on pit road right now, and this could be race-winning move. It's hard to say. I think Lane Allen can finish. Let's take a look in at Lane Allen and what lap he pitted on again. So on lap 85, Brad, this is going to be 20 laps. He's going to have to go 66 laps here. I don't know if he can do that.
Yeah, that's going to be rough.
I mean, if we look in, he pitted. Has he done a stint of 66 laps before this? Is the question, I guess. I don't really have that information. I don't know if he pitted on lap 16 or 26 before 85.
26.
So
26.
So then on lap 85 he pitted. That's only 59 laps. Doesn't look good for him to be able to make it. He's really got to push this truck and get himself a nice big gap. But he's also not going to be able to hold off the charging, Bobby Terrell and Tim Bills, who's in the pits right now as well. Terry Cooper Jr.
If we check in on Bobby Terrell right now, he's on his extra lap right now. It's going to be interesting to see what type of a lap time he's really going to be putting down, versus Lane Allen. Lane Allen's going to have a little bit older tires, but it might not be as much. Let's see, that time Bobby was able to put down a 28.70 to Lane Allen's 30.3. So definitely a commanding difference with those new tires.
Yeah, absolutely. Those new tires will be dominant out here. Right now, and look who's in second place right now. Casey McMullen Sr. Let's just see when old Casey pitted here. KG Vet, well, he's on 63, so Casey definitely needs to pit, but he can make it from wherever he does pit, which I suggest he probably should do pretty much immediately, unless he's looking for a caution.
Yeah, I don't think he has more than 10 laps left in the tank anyway before he, is forced to come to pit road with, he said he came lap 63. We know that they can't make 60 laps, so he's going to be in within the next 5 laps.
Yeah, I mean, you might be able to stretch it to 60, 61, but not the length that Lane Allen needs, that's for sure. Be looking at the gap here and just see what he's opened up a 12-second gap on McMullen, 25-second gap on Bratton. I mean, who can make it? Let's look in on these pit laps one more time and see. Now you would have to pit somewhere around, 90. Brody Hanna? Is Brody Hanna sitting in a great spot here?
Yeah, possibly Hanna, Person.
Has Brody Hanna out-thought the whole field? Could that be what's happening here? That would be an amazing return from the 23, as he's currently shown in 5th place. Bratton currently on pit road. As you see Loomis sitting in there, probably feeling horrible about what happened with the 47. Not really his fault at all. I mean, he's just turning laps. It's just a really unfortunate timing.
The other outside shot would be that 58 of Justin Kirby. He last pitted on 76, so that would be close. I mean, he'd have
Well,
to do
that's
some saving.
he would have to do more than Lane Allen would. Lane pitted on lap
Oh, you're
85,
right.
so I think 90, perhaps Person on 87. Could he, with those 2 extra laps, could he do it? That would be 13. That'd be 59 laps, I think. I mean, did I do some bad math? Lap 85 be 15. Yeah, 61. Lane might be able to make it. Person probably can, and Hannah definitely can. So this is very interesting stuff.
It really is, because I mean, if you look at Person, he's currently in the 4th position. He's running about a 30.3 lap time, and we know the 4 of Bobby Terrell, he can make it. He's pitted. He's currently running a 28.90. So not the biggest gap. I mean, he's definitely making some time, but we're not talking seconds a lap. We're talking 2-3 tenths. So it'll be interesting. Will Bobby be able to get there in time?
Will Bobby be able to get there? Is Bernard Person in a battle with Brody Hanna? They're in 3rd and 4th place here. Looking pretty racy, these two are. They've got...
Well,
go ahead.
so I was going to say, if you're Brody Hanna, you want to make sure that you get by that truck, not necessarily thinking that it's for the win, but the lucky dog.
Jared Carr gets in there. That opens the door for the 23. He's going to scoot right on through there. I think Bernard Person decided to let him on through there. Jared Carr shown in 13th place, 2 laps down currently.
Brody Hanna is definitely in a good position here. He's currently sitting 3rd on the racetrack. He would be our lucky dog if we did have a caution. On top of that, he's right there on the verge of being able to make it all the way.
Yeah, I think Brody Hanna can make it. I'm pretty convinced of that. Probably Bernard Person. I mean, we'll be able to tell soon if anybody's pedaling it. Right behind them, here comes Bobby Terrell working around the 21 of Gary Griffith Jr. So much going on. There's Terry Cooper Jr. and Justin Kirby, both having good nights. And Matthew Gerwinger is still up 17 spots from where he was as Tim Bills comes on by him. He's got Bratton with him, but Bratton, I believe, is not in that position. And you see him move over here.
And the 4 of Bobby Trails have been able to get around the 8 of Bernard Person. He's going to now set his sights just in front of him on the 23 of Brody Hanna with obviously much better tires than Brody currently has.
Well, I wonder if is Bernie's truck that bad, or is he just saving gas? He might be saving a bit. Let's try and get in on his in-car camera here and just have a look. In on the dash here, he's 140, 150 down the straightaway, a little bit more. He's definitely letting off at times here. There's traffic going around him. 140 through the corner, up to 150. I mean, what lap did he pit on again? So
He pit on 87.
So 87. So let's take a look now at Brody Hanna and just see what kind of speeds he's running here. So we see him at 150, 160 plus as Bobby Terrell comes around him. Yeah, 149, 150, 160 through the corner. So direct difference. Actually, now Person kind of kicking it up a bit. So I don't know. It's undetermined whether he's saving or not at this point. Kind of to be expected, actually. But he's getting freight trained here as the 8 of Bernard Person.
I think right now they're just trying to minimize their loss. And, on this strategy, you might as well play it to the end. Come down, maybe splash of fuel, maybe 2 tires. You're definitely not going to take 4 tires if you're somebody like Bernard or, Helm or Bills. Right now, the big question is whether or not Brody can actually make it to the end.
Well, and bigger than that, Lane Allen as well. I mean, we're pretty sure Casey can't make it. But yeah, Brody Hanna, what a story it'd be if he could make it. Bobby Terrell, I'm pretty sure Bobby can make it. Bobby's already moved ahead of Brody Hanna, so.
Yeah, Bobby pitted at lap 102, so Bobby can definitely
Oh,
make
and
it.
caution on the track with 26 to go. Not sure what the caution is for here, Brad. I don't seem to have any information on a incident here. Could be a car stopping on the track. But right now, Lane Allen is going to be shown a lap up on everybody but Casey McMullen. Casey McMullen with the strategy again. Is going to be on the lead lap with his teammate of Lane Allen. They're both going to come in the pits here together, I would imagine, as we're looking at Casey still catching up here from a long ways back, but he will be the only other car that can pit here on lap number 1 of pit stops.
Yeah, and that happens one lap earlier. Brody Hanna still would have been in that lucky dog position. Unfortunately, now before Bobby Terrell is able to get by him, and Brody Hanna's going to be trapped one lap down.
Well, that and that's a good question for these lappers. Do you stay out and take the wave around, or do you pit and get tires? Now, you got to think with only 23 laps, you're going to get the wave around because you don't think a guy can make up that kind of time on you. But it's hard to tell.
Well, it depends. If you're somebody like Brody Hanna, you have nothing to lose for one, and we think he can make it to the end. Now, some of the other guys, they are kind of questionable. Most of them should be able to make it. I mean, if you're Matthew Geringer, you last pitted at lap 80, you might not have a choice. I mean, even with this caution, you still might not have enough to make it to the end.
Let's see here if we could look in on the Jason Martin leaving the pits and see if there was something that caused the caution there. I still don't know what happened for this caution. Doesn't seem to be anything there. I don't know what could have possibly caused that caution, but I'm sure we'll find out later. I can assure you this, no admins would throw a caution or anything in this league, so something obscure happened there. Someone's stopping on a track, perhaps a blown motor or something to that effect that has caused this caution. Then this intrigue here as Lane Allen and Casey McMullen will be out here on fresh tires fighting, and they got Bobby Terrell will be the lucky dog, so the three of them will be on fresh rubber. The rest of the field will have to take a wave round and hope for another caution.
All right, I was able to nail down what that caution was. We had the 21 of Gary Griffith on lap 119, entering 1 and 2, being passed by the 77 of Tim Bills and the 26 of Brian Helm. They put it 3 wide going into the corner and bounced off of the 21 and down into each other, which spent the 77 and the 26 spinning to the inside.
Interesting. Let's try and get a look at that.
It was lap 119.
As we just ride with Griffith here for a bit. See, behind him, you see Bill's coming. Here comes Bills and Helm now. I mean, we're still a bit away from the incident, I would imagine. You can see now they've worked their way up to the bumper here. Get a better view. Here comes Helm down to the inside, putting it 3 wide. Bill's in the middle. Just not enough room for 3 cars down there, guys. And that, yeah, I'm surprised that that didn't trigger something on our timing for an incident, but that's going to be highly unfortunate for Tim Bills there. So right now, Lane Allen on the point, looking dominant all night, but he's got Casey McMullen right there, and he's got Bobby Terrell. Should be up here. Where is Bobby Terrell?
Currently sitting in the 4th row inside.
So we've got several guys who got a wave around who got it in front of Bobby somehow, which is quite interesting.
Green flag, green flag.
And here we go, the 14 bringing them down into corner number 1. The 77 trying to get inside of the 71, who holds his spot really good here. He's going to fight, but no, the 77's going to get on by. Here comes Bobby Terrell now, that lucky dog. He's got the rubber to get up here and fight. Casey McMullen says, no, not right now. So pit lap, you got the top 3 right now, hand on 90. And I don't know, oh, Tim Bills is not on the lead lap. So Tim Bills up here fighting with our leaders is not currently on the lead lap. He'd be our first truck a lap down. That's
Absolutely.
my bad for not paying attention there.
Terry Cooper Jr., he's currently in the 5th position. He last pitted on lap 102, so he's got about 25 lap old tires, and Brian Helm right behind him pitted on 106, so he should be good to the end. Looks like everybody up in this top 10, with the exception of maybe Bernard Person and Matthew Gehringer, should have plenty of fuel to make it to the end. Person's last pitted on 87, Gehringer on lap 80. He's going to be the real question for me, whether or not he's going to be able to make it.
Yeah, interesting developments for some of these guys, but Lane Allen, clean sailing as those guys had to battle the lap traffic of Tim Bills. It has allowed Lane Allen, plus he's got a great truck and driving it well, has allowed him to open up a 2-second gap here on teammate Casey McMullen and Bobby Terrell right on his bumper.
Yeah, looking back a little bit further, Brian Helm, that 26, was actually able to get around the 25 with Terry Cooper Jr. and Bertie Hanna. That's going to put Brian Helm, who was just in that incident, up to the 4th position.
Yeah, 26, our point leader, doing a great job. You mentioned it earlier, doing exactly what he needs to do here. You know, top 5, nothing. I mean, he's put that truck in some hairy situations tonight, so I wouldn't say that's exactly what a championship leader should be doing, but he's made it work. Truck looks pretty clean, and he's in 4th place.
Bertie Hanna's starting to fall. He's currently in the 6th position, but if you watch that truck on 4, caution is out.
Caution.
Kevin Sargent.
It's like both sergeants have been involved in this incident, and this is going to change everything. Need a quick look in here at the 09. I don't know why it's not going to the correct incident, but we'll get it right here. Back that up a bit as we see the 28 once again. So we have the 7 and the 28 heading down into the corner here. Let's get into the chase cam here. You see the 7 coming down into the corner on the inside of the 28. 28 into the wall, down a bit. I'm going to stop and rewind that.
It's actually past that.
Well, that's where the incident starts from what I can see. So, okay. We've got to get on the right car here, get onto the sergeant. And after all of that, calamity. Oh, it's the other sergeant. Sergeant takes out sergeant heavily. One more look here as it looks like Paul Sargent down low just letting people go, but comes back on the track, collects Kevin Sargent, and round they go. There'll be a little family dispute later on this evening.
Now we have 11 cars in the lead lap. If you're Lane Allen, I gotta suspect that you're not pitting, but if you're that Ford truck of Bobby Terrell, are you gonna go ahead and come to pit road, give up the 2nd position? You do have a little bit older tires. Is that the only way that you think that you're going to have anything for our leader? If you're somebody
Oh,
like Brody Hanna at sixth on back, definitely. But if you're Bobby, what are you going to do?
well, I think with all my looking around the replays, I think it's done at this point. Lane Allen and Bobby Terrell out on the track, pitting on lap 122 and 123 respectively. McMullen's going to be in third. He's pitted now. Cooper, Helm, Marble, Hanna, Person, all pitting right now on lap 131. Gerringer as well in ninth.
This can definitely shake everything up. Now we got to kind of shift our focus away from that long run, so we got to figure out who's got the best short run speed. Lane Allen's had a fast truck all night. Bobby Trail early in the run had to kind of work his way, make some adjustments on that truck to really make it come to life, but it really has come to life recently. Casey McMullen's had kind of more of a longer run car. Jerry Cooper Jr. and Brian Helm, Tyler Marble, they're right there currently 5th, 6th, and 7th. I'm sorry, 4th, 5th, and 6th. They've had fast, short run trucks all night. I definitely expect to see them in the mix before this is over.
Yeah, definitely. Anything can happen at this point. We got 14 to go. I mean, we've seen aggression out of Helm, Cooper in the past. You know, Tyler Marble's not one to give up spots. Hanna, fresh off the injury up here. I mean, anything goes here.
Yeah, we've already seen tonight, you know, these trucks do not do well 3 wide on this racetrack, but I would not be surprised if I see it.
I would not be surprised either. I mean, up front, some of the best. You got Lane Allen, Bobby Terrell, Casey McMullen. These guys known for their clean green flag racing. But behind that, we have several of the more aggressive drivers back here. And I'm not sure what's going to transpire. And we're going to be on about 10, 11 to go here. This is going to be maybe 12 laps to go, Brad. My goodness. You got to think it's Lane Allen's to get, but a guy like Bobby Terrell, he knows how to win these things too.
Yeah, he really does. And if you look at our top 3, all 3 of those trucks are pristine, no marks. Pace car's going to pull off. Here we go.
Here we do go. The 14 to Lane Allen on the point, leading them to the stripe. Green flag down. They're both side by side at the line. A great job by the 4 on the outside. They're going to head down into corner number 1.
And Casey McMullen was able to close right back up on the 14, so that 4 is either going to have to make it sick. He's not going to have the ability to drop down to the bottom. As we're still side by side, we're going to have lap traffic come out right in front of him as well. This could be an issue for our leaders going into 3 and 4.
Wow, we got lap traffic out there. The 14 on the low side just hooked up, finally gets around, and oh, the 4s gets collected. Other guys involved in that.
No caution.
Jared Carr's wrecked. We're still under green. Lane Allen opening up the lead. We've seen some carnage there. Jared Carr getting involved. That lap car truck caused mayhem there. Here comes Casey McMullen trying to get up here. How many times have we seen this from the 71 all race long? I mean, he's had a good race. He's up there. He was up there early. But late in these races, he comes out of nowhere. Where did he come from? I mean, we've seen him steal a few in the past.
Well, we know he's got the freshest tires. He pitted on that last lap where we know Lane Allen did not. So the trucks lined up directly behind Lane Allen are going to have, 10 lap fresher tires. Could that be the difference?
My goodness, here comes the 71 with a big run. He's going to throw it down to the inside of his teammate here. They're going to ride side by side through the corner here. 71 low, 14 up high. Casey McMullen. Here comes another Blackwater driver. That's going to be the 25 from Steve Berry Racing. That's going to be Terry Cooper Jr. as these 3 battle it out here.
And that's these 3 are bringing the 48 of Tyler Marble to him, as well as Brody Hanna. We're going to have a 5-truck battle.
Here comes Brody Hanna down to the inside of the 48 of Tyler Marble. He's going to take that spot. He is on the move. Brody Hanna up to fourth. Anything can happen here. Casey McMullen, though, after starting off the race right on Tim Bills, looking good, has a poor restart or couldn't, got stuck in the wrong spot, let's say, had to change his strategy. Here he is back on the point. Lane Allen dominating the race. He's in second. Terry Cooper Jr., Brody Hanna, and Tyler Marble fighting it out in the top 5.
And you can really see that 71 working the top side. It's definitely in 3 and 4. He's really able to hug it. That truck likes to rotate very, very well, and he's able to get a little bit of distance every time. He's so much better in 3 and 4 than the 14 is currently. Is that due to tires, or has he just been really holding something back all night?
I'm not sure. I think he's been holding back, to be honest with you. He looked so good early in the race. I think he got frustrated getting thrown back to 6th or 7th and said, you know what? He's not one to get up there and get super aggressive. He's going to play a game, and he played some strategy and all that. And it worked out for him, as we've seen it work out before. And now when it's time to go, here he goes. And Lane Allen's in the wall.
Yeah, he's trying to get everything he can to get there, and that's going to allow the 25 of Terry Cooper Jr. to get by. Now he's going to have to deal with Brody Hanna on his inside, trying to take over the 4th position.
Brody Hanna up to 3rd now, stealing that from Lane Allen. So Brody Hanna in his return having himself a night. Terry Cooper Jr. having a great night as well. He's in 2nd place. But our leader, Casey McMullen Sr., coming down here. It's going to be 4 to go at the stripe.
He's actually been able to stretch it out quite a bit. He's got a little bit over 0.8 of a second lead over our 2nd place car, Terry Cooper Jr. Brody Hanna right there behind him. Casey McMullen could only hope that Brody Hanna gets to the back of Terry Cooper Jr. and they make a race out of it. That will almost ensure his victory, provided no caution, and that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, Brody Hanna down to the inside through 3 and 4 here. He's going to clear the 25. He's going to take that spot, put the 23 up to 2nd. He's running out of time here. We're down to 3 to go. I don't think he can chase down the 71, but if anybody can do it, it's Brody Hanna.
Yeah, barring a mistake from that 71, I think this is going to be his race, and barring a caution from somebody else. But Brody Hanna definitely impressive on his first race back, a race that he didn't even think he was going to be racing at until near 30 minutes before.
Yeah, an amazing accomplishment. He's got to be super excited out here. Maybe the new tire developments are something he's enjoyed. Here comes Tyler Marble down to the inside of the 14 to Lane Allen. And they're going to almost touch there. Lane Allen holding them off on the high side. We're coming down to 2 to go here, or we're on 2 to go.
Casey McMullen trying to get everything he can to keep his lead, but on that time through in 1 and 2, 3 and 4, he scraped the wall a little high. What he's got to do is he's just got to make sure he hits his marks in order to keep this lead.
Yes, he really does have to hit his marks here as we come through 1 and 2 clean. He's only got 1 more turn, 2 corners, I guess you could say. He's down into 3 safely here. Keeps it off the wall. Coming around the corner through 4. The 71, Casey McMullen Sr., going to win the Darlington 200. Brody Hanna going to come home 2nd. Terry Cooper Jr., Lane Allen, Tyler Marble, Brian Helm, Matthew Gerringer going to have nice finishes. Bobby Terrell going to limper home here. Ronnie Royal and Bernard Person, your lead lap drivers. Wow, some late race excitement there. Casey McMullen going to be thrilled to be back in the winner's circle. Brody Hanna back on the track, grabbing 2nd place, and Terry Cooper Jr. having a nice run himself tonight in the 25 machine. He rounded out that top 3. What a night for these guys, Brad.
It really was. They played the perfect strategy all night. They played for the long run. They pitted, got off sequence with a lot of people, and that was what afforded them to be out when that caution did come out. They got lucky with another caution, was able to come in, get 4 fresh tires, be on the same tires, and actually have a little bit better tires than Lane Allen. And, it was just a great race right there at the end, just running away.
Amazing race. I'm out of breath here just thinking about it and talking about it. I mean, we had a lot go on tonight. We had a few aggressive moves at different times, a few unexpected cautions. That thing with TJ was so unfortunate, but ultimately a great race. Lane Allen dominating at times. Tim Bills was dominating at times. Gerringer, what a night for him in the 11, 19 spots up. Rookie Randy McCanny here having himself a nice run in the 2 car. He's up 13 spots.
And what a night for Blackwater Motorsports. I mean, 3 of the top 4 drivers tonight. So, I mean, that team is definitely somebody who's putting in the work this week. And obviously, they came here to this track with a plan and with the right setup underneath those machines.
Yeah, they obviously had it hooked up tonight, and they did a heck of a job out here. Really happy to see the team do well here tonight. Right now, though, let's take a short commercial break, and we'll come back with interviews with our top 3.
We are back at North Wilkesboro, North Carolina, where the field is rolling out for the start of today's 400-lap race on this .625-mile racetrack. And just as the field comes all around turn number 4, the sunshine peeks through, helping warm things here. Bill Elliott leads him down. Benny Parsons on the outside. The green flag flies, and the first Union 400 Winston Cup race from North Wilkesboro is underway. Everybody nicely through turns number 1 and 2 as Bill Elliott has the lead and Dale Earnhardt has jumped into second position, followed by Benny Parsons and Bobby Allison. So here we go. It's just about to go away. They bump coming out of turn 4. Earnhardt gets the lead. We had just heard from our spotters that Neil Ryan. Dale Earnhardt is on his last lap. This will be his 24th career win. Dale Earnhardt wins the first Union 400 in North Wilkesboro.
All right, welcome back here to the Blackwater Products USA Truck Series, live from Darlington. What a night we've had. I mean, let's get into some race interviews here, Brad, right away. We got third place, Terry Cooper Jr. in the 25 truck, having himself a night. Terry, what a great night for you.
Yeah, man, I'm pretty happy with the top 3. Great night for Team Blackwater.
Yeah, Team Blackwater and Steve Berry racing there together, having themselves a night. And just talk a little bit about that, about what kind of truck you guys had under you tonight.
Oh yeah, man, we had a really good truck. I got into the wall, and I didn't think it was that bad of damage. When I went and pit, it said I had 50 seconds of damage, so I knew the speed was off. So I just had to manage with what I had, but I think we had a truck that could win. Casey was up front, Wayne was up front. It was a good race.
Yeah, man, a lot of interesting turns there. Casey on a little off strategy was up front for a bit, but Lane Allen at one point had a 20-second lead. One point, I think he had the field lapped. It was unbelievable. But talk a little bit about the strategy here in the race. There was multiple strategies going on there with those pit stops.
Yeah, for me, I was saving tires at the beginning and letting guys go, and I noticed I was catching them on the long run, and I decided I was going to pit early, and it worked out because every time I pit, I gained a few spots. So the next thing I know, and I was in the top 3.
So talk a little bit about the track and the truck tonight. We've seen some of the battles out there, some side-by-side racing, a little bit of action. I think you got involved. You got clipped at one time, if I'm not mistaken. Talk a little bit about how hard Darlington is and some of those incidents that we had.
Oh, it was tough. I mean, we were all given a lot, though. I think that incident with Jared, he was backing out and I was backing out. We were both backing out going into the same turn, and that's just what you have to do at Darlington. You got to let guys go. You can't run into the corner side by side, or you're not going to make it out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially 1 and 2, so difficult on that entry there. But you managed it, man. You managed your truck. You managed your race. You did a great job tonight, Terry. The team did a great job. Big congratulations, man, on third place.
Yeah, man, I'm extremely happy with it. The team, I'm thankful for those guys. I don't like Darlington, so for me to finish top three here, I'll take it.
All right, man. Well, congrats again, Brad. That was Terry Cooper Jr., our third place finisher.
And congratulations to him. Currently, right now, I'm standing by the 23 of Brody Hanna. Brody, you've been away for a little bit. So, first off, I want to say welcome back. And, of course, second, man, just tell us about your night. I mean, what a way to come back.
Well, I honestly just tried to take care of the truck most of the race, let people go, just kind of ride around. I was just going to make kind of a softer turn there. You get to the end, you realize you're racing for the win. I'm like, dang, okay, well, I guess we'll go for it. And we had a little fresher tires than the guys up front. That accident happened, man. That was unfortunate. I hated to see that. Took Bobby out, took Brian Helm out, a couple of the other guys that were really contenders out there. But yeah, hey, home track. I feel pretty good. That was a fun race.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, we were kind of watching you as the night progressed. At one point in time, we saw that you pitted with right about lap 90 to go. Was that something where, had we stayed green, did you think you would have been able to make it on fuel, or would you have been a little bit short?
No, I could have made it from there, and that's what we were talking to some of the guys about. I could have made it from there. I wish it would have stayed green. I was going to be happy with the top five for sure here. Just kind of getting out here and kind of getting feelers back out. Really wasn't expecting all that much, man. I was just going to ride around, and unfortunately, some of the circumstances that hurt some people kind of helped us, and ended up with the second place. I'll definitely take it. It's good to be back, and I had fun.
So it was definitely enjoyable watching you back on the track. And like I said, it's good to have you back in the garage. It's good to have you back on the track and whatnot. I'm just going to kind of give you the floor and let you thank or give anybody any shout outs that you might have.
Well, first and foremost, since I get the opportunity, I got to thank Sherwood Williford, Dean Doucette, and Casey McMullen for kind of holding the fort down while all this was going on with the surgeries and all. I got to thank you and Jared and Dean again for the broadcast. You guys kind of keeping that together, everything, and everybody for checking on me. And again, glad to be back. But yeah, and definitely got to thank the guys out there that showed up tonight. 32 cars took the time in practice. A lot of cars out there, and we had a pretty good race. And we had a little carnage there at the end, but other than that, had a really good race. So got to thank everybody that shows up with these league races and continues to support the league. So got to thank everybody. And yeah, awesome.
Well, we appreciate it, and we thank you for putting us everything on, and you give everybody a home to come and race at. So, thank you for that. It's good, like I said, it's good to see you back. But congratulations on your second place finish here at your home track.
Thank you, man.
All right, Dean. That was the 23 of Brody Hanna back on the track, finishing second. I believe you're standing by with our race winner.
Yeah, I've got the 71 Casey McMullen Sr., race winner of the Darlington 200. Congratulations, Casey.
Oh man, thanks, Dean. This feels great for the whole entire team tonight. Unfortunately, Lane had it won, I think, but just a little strategy there kind of caught me up there.
Yeah, well, that's why you play it, right? And you race the whole race. Lane Allen, I mean, yeah, we feel for him. He had the field covered there at one point, but unfortunate incident there late. We got some restarts. But let's get to you and your race win. Let's talk a little bit about what you had. We seen you early on. We knew you had a good truck. You're up there fighting with Tim Bills. Talk a little bit about that early part of the race.
Yeah, it was going great. I seen where were we at? It was just taking our time. Didn't want to get in the wall, so it was going pretty good. So throughout the run, after a couple cautions, I decided just make sure I don't hit the wall and save the truck for the end of the race. So that's what I did, and kind of worked out there.
Yeah, well, I thought you did a great job. Now, you were sitting in second. I thought you were probably going to close in and maybe take the lead if you wanted it from Tim Bills. But then we had a caution. We had a restart there. and you had some trouble just getting in the wrong spot and lost a few spots. Talk about what that did for your race and whether that changed some of your thinking on how you wanted to race the rest of the race.
Yeah, it put me in a position to sit there, back there, and just relax and ride it out. Um, I like to be in second there, but you know, you have to give these guys room going into those turns. So, just biting my time, and I would like to say everybody who raced around me gave me plenty of room, and I gave them plenty of room. We had a really good race tonight from everybody that raced around me. So good job, guys, and yeah.
It really was, and it was a thrilling finish, Casey, and we had some action there with that lap car kind of get involved with some of the guys. Really unfortunate for them. But all in all, just a great job by you. Not only for you, a little maybe personal vindication, but a team vindication tonight. We had some nice finish from Blackwater, from Steve Berry Racing, and the guys got to be really happy down in that camp.
Yeah, we really are. We knew we had a good piece tonight, and practices were all great, and we're just fast, and it was all about saving the trucks and just being there at the end. So it was a great job. I'd like to thank all my teammates for that because it was a lot of work.
Well, Casey, we thought you did a magnificent job, a smart job, knowing where you're at, knowing when to let off and when to go. Here you are in victory lane once again, man. We couldn't be happier for you. We look forward to seeing you the rest of the season, man. Keep it going.
Thank you, appreciate it. Shout out to Steve Berry, our sponsor owner and team owner. Really, check out Blackwater Products USA. Go get some stuff. They show us so much love here at the league. They've been doing it for a lot of seasons now, and we really need to go out there and support them. And just thank the whole league, and thank you guys for putting on such a great broadcast. You guys really are top notch, and just appreciate everybody around here.
All right, Brad, that's our winner, Casey McMullen Sr.
Casey did such a great job. I mean, couldn't happen to a better driver out there. Very humble. I mean, he's going to really appreciate this win. How great is it to see Brody Hanna back out there? Coming home second place. I mean, that was great.
Yeah, it almost overshadows Casey in a way. I mean, Brody, it was really nice. Not only we see Brody Hanna out there, but you heard him. He's really just kind of out there riding. I mean, he's a fast driver, but he's not putting it all on the line, you know what I mean? Letting a few guys go and just kind of riding. But what did we see from him in the past, Brad? We've seen that, remember that one other race where he kind of let some people go and took it easy? What did he end up doing? He won that race by 14 seconds.
Oh, absolutely. Last season at Michigan, he definitely did that. But, I don't know if he meant to do it. Did he just, possibly put the field on kind of notice? I mean, he's out there telling us how he's just riding around, just biding his time, just kind of getting back in the flow. He comes home second. So, he might have put the field a little bit on notice there because, like you said, he's usually one of those guys that puts the grip between his teeth and goes. So it's going to be very interesting to see when he's really going for it and, what all he's going to be able to do. And we got some nice tracks coming up that could be very interesting.
We really do. I mean, we got a great schedule here coming up. We're heading to Bristol next week, followed by Vegas. Back on the super speedway at Talladega, where I think we'll forego the two races and head for one long race this time. We tried a little something earlier in the year at Daytona. I'm not sure it really worked out the way we would have liked, but good tracks, a good mix. Hard short track Bristol. You got the 1.5 miles followed by the super speedway. A little bit of everything for everybody.
Absolutely, definitely going to be a well-rounded driver that takes home this championship. And those points battles are starting to tighten up a little bit. Some guys, unfortunately, points leaders, up in the points, running decent nights tonight, had some issues. So there's going to be some shakeups there. So, it's still wide open by any stretch of the imagination and anybody's ball game. And you get somebody like Casey McMullen come up in here and start winning some races like he has been and doing very well. And he could be talking about a championship.
He really could. As we look in now, we haven't really got to our race results here. We'll just have a quick look over here as you see the board and see where your favorite driver may have finished tonight. And we'll get into the championship standings. Mostly, I think there's a couple of guys who would let a lap who could be added into this at this point. But right now, you got Brian Helm with 183 points. Ronnie Royalby fall 10 points back. McMullen with a big move up 2 spots here. And you got Terry Cooper Jr. moving up 2 spots. Bernard Person is right there. He's fallen down 1. TJ Bartell. Kirby moving up a spot. Bobby Terrell scoots up 7 spots tonight. Bill Benedict, Jeff Bratton, your top 10, as we look over some of the others in the field here and how they're moving and shaking here. You see Randy McCanny with a good night tonight. He's going to move up 5 spots. And that rounds out our championship points right now. So again, Brian Helm will maintain a 10-point lead, and Case McMullen about 20 back, and Cooper about 30 back. Lots of cars in this field, lots of time to make up these points, Brad.
Yeah, there really is. And as we saw tonight, just one small incident on the track can cost you big, especially when you got these big fields of 30 cars. You could go from running up front to 30th on the night and really lose a lot of points. So it's going to be very interesting, especially as we come up to something like Bristol, where it's such a short track and we're going to have a lot of trucks on the track. So it's going to be very difficult. If you're somebody like Brian Helm nursing a 10-point lead or something like that, you really got to pick and choose your battles and decide how much aggression you can really show on the track.
You really will. And that's next Wednesday at 9 p.m. right here for the Blackwater Products USA Truck Series. We'll be at that Bristol that we were just talking about. We also have the Cup Series. That'll be coverage here Monday night. Now, Brad, where is the Cup Series at? If I look it up here. We're headed to Richmond, so another short track for the Cup Series here. They're going to have Richmond followed by Bristol. Make sure you tune in here. It'll be Jared Carr in the booth with TJ Bartell, and those guys will have some great action on Monday night. But for here at Darlington, for Full Throttle TV, for Brad Patterson and myself, Dean Doucette, that's about going to wrap it up. We'll see you all on Monday night and Wednesday right back here with the Blackwater Products USA Truck Series.